Hugh, so we didn't even get a chance to get this, man. Congratulations, first of all. It's for people who may not know. Hugh Douglas, Trent Cole, it was announced on Friday night at the preseason game that both will be honored on November 27th, the game against the Packers. Hugh and Trent, two pass rushing machines, will be going into the Eagles Hall of Fame. Congrats, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much, fellas. Thank you so much for that.
All right, our guy is up early. Our guy, our Hall of Famer is up early.
Congrats, bro. Congrats.
There he is. HOF. HOF.
Wait a minute. Can I just say something? Because y'all we talked about this today, man. We talked about this Deshaun Watson thing.
Yes, yes.
And you know, I'm from Ohio, right? I'm from Ohio.
Right.
So I got a lot of friends, man. I had to delete a lot of people off my Facebook page for talking stupid.
Here we go. Here we go.
When folks started talking about all these women lying and all this other stuff, I said, man, do you know what that's the equivalent of? That's the equivalent of me walking down the street in Atlanta, Georgia, and coming up on 30 women and thinking all 30 of those women want to date me. Like, think about that for a minute. Like, I'm that fine that they can't resist me, that they want to date me. That's ridiculous for you to sit there and justify because this man can play football that he didn't do nothing. Nothing. Come on, man. And then on top of that, like, let's be honest, because I heard you talking about when he said before the game, he said, "I'm sorry."
Yes.
D-Gun. What can at that point? What can you say? Because listen,
say nothing. Say nothing.
But he knows what's coming, Hugh.
See, this is the thing. Either you get it before the game or you get it after the game. Because guess what? You gonna
get it after the game.
You gonna get it.
Look,
you about to get it.
Hugh, at that stage, nothing he can say.
Nothing.
Because you know fans are sitting there. There's fans sitting in the stands everywhere he goes, waiting for him like pack of wolves.
No, listen, D-Gun, I was like, I was like, how many football questions do they actually ask before they start asking other questions? Like, because you might get one football question, and then after that, it's open season. It's open season on you, bro. So the only thing you could have did was did what you did, but when you did it, you open yourself up for all kind of ridicule now, brother. Because okay, what you guilty for? What you do? What did you do? How did you impact their lives? You know, I'm like, dude, it's ridiculous. It's just, you know, it's ridiculous.
He's handled this poorly from Jump Street, man.
Yeah.
Hugh, I said his legal team should have coached him back in April, May. Take a more humble approach. He came out the gate. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything.
Man,
I don't feel I did anything.
It's got to the point now, man. You know how initially, you know, because we've all been in situations, initially you look at it like, I don't know. But then you look at him and be like, hold up, dog. You got like 30 masseuses that we know about.
Right.
Now, we don't know about everybody else. Like, it's like, hold up, dog. You what they call doing the most in the streets. You doing too much. You are doing way too much. Like, he's just, like, that's ridiculous. How many masseuses, like, as a former player, you're kind of funny about who touches your body and who you deal with and who you work with, everybody. Dude, you had over 30 masseurs, whatever the hell you want to call it. You like, what are you doing? That's bad within itself. That's bad.
Yeah, man.
At the end of the day, Hugh, you find you one or two good ones.
That's it.
But I mean, look, he ain't no bad looking guy. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no bad looking guy, and he's rich. Why?
I don't like. Listen, you know how some cats feel like they can holler at everybody. Like I said, it's just like the equivalent of me walking down the street here in Atlanta off of Peachtree. Yeah, she wants to talk to me. Yeah, she thinks I'm hot too. She's just cringing because she just doesn't know what she's missing. Really, dude, that's what I'm doing. That's how. No, that's not. No.
Yeah.
You know, that's almost like well, I don't want to do it like that, but I was in Green Bay with Darren Sharper.
Ooh.
I was like, why do you, hold on. I'm like, look, I'm not putting together. I'm just saying this. Yeah. I'm like this. I'm like, why does he have bodyguards at the club and we're in Appleton, Wisconsin?
Yes.
Why?
And ain't nothing in Appleton. I'm from Wisconsin.
Right.
I've been in Appleton times. Ain't
There's a lot going on with Sharper, man.
Bodyguards
that was
Appleton?
Yeah.
I didn't quite understand it. Now I gotta say, da.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's a double da. That's an da squared.
Right.
Yeah. No, I hear you. But Hugh, so we didn't even get a chance to get this, man. Congratulations, first of all. It's for people who may not know. Hugh Douglas, Trent Cole. It was announced on Friday night at the preseason game that both will be honored on November 27th, the game against the Packers. Hugh and Trent, two pass rushing machines, will be going into the Eagles Hall of Fame. Congrats, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much, fellas. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Did you ever think this was going to happen for you? When you consider how long it's been since you played, you ever think this moment would arrive?
You know what, D-Gun, I wasn't even worried about it. I was like, it's one of those things that, other people say something about it. I'm like, man, I can't control that. I'm not worried about that. It'll happen when it's supposed to happen. And I'm just going to keep on living because, just as well as I do, there are some guys who, they feel some kind of way when, they don't go in when they feel they should have went in. Sure. Man, I look at the history of the Philadelphia Eagles and that franchise that I played for. Dude, there's a lot of ballers came through Philadelphia, man.
Yes,
like think about so it was more than anything. Hey man, wait your turn coming. Like if anything, it's like, hey, you wanna get it while you're on this side of it, of course. But hey man, you gotta wait your turn. You play with the Stallions.
At least you get that opportunity. I know I'm not gonna get any of that opportunity, man. So I gotta say congrats, man. Well deserved, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I mean, man, it's one of the things, man. When I was told, I'm like, Reggie White, Seth Joyner, Jerome Brown.
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Big
time names, man. But you was a big time player, man.
Like when you think of Philadelphia, you think of defense, bro. So to be mentioned in the name with those cats. Man, I ain't paying for no more cheesesteaks when I come to Philadelphia.
There you go.
You kidding me? When I go to Rita's, hey man, water ice on me. You know who I am?
Make it a gelati. Let's go, man.
Hey, after you're officially inducted in November in that game against Green Bay, will I have to refer to you as Mr. Douglas?
No, not at all. You can still call me Hugh. Hey, ain't too much change now, but I'm gonna go ahead and milk that free water. I'm trying to get as much as I possibly can. I'm gonna buy me some steak and some water ice somewhere. I'm gonna put a water ice somewhere.
Rita's closes in the winter, man. I'm sorry, I hate to tell you.
Man, you know what's funny? They're open here in the winter. Well,
because it's 80 degrees down there.
Yeah. It's open here in the winter. Listen, there's been plenty of times where I've made trips. I bring a little cooler, right? And I get the gallons.
Yep.
And boy, I sprint through it's been days where I'm just eating Rita's and that's it. Just like, hey,
bro, they fat free. You can get a fat free.
Hey, listen, no, I want the ones with all the sugar in them. And be like, hey, what's for dinner today? I ate my dinner. I ate Rita's. I'm good.
Breakfast, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I'm good. I did ate 3 tubs of Rita. I'm straight. I ain't straight. I'm straight.
Hugh, what's the procedure? Like, who calls you? Like, walk us through how you find this out? Were you getting like drips and drabs of it leading up to it? Like, how does it all play out?
You know what's funny? Mr. Lurie called me.
Nice.
He called me and he was like, "Hey man, I just want to congratulate you and Trent Cole going into the Eagles Hall of Fame." And I was like, "Wow!" I said thank you. And at the moment, it was like it didn't hit me until it hit me Friday night when people started calling and it was announced and I saw it and everything. And I was just like, wow, this is really, this is really happening. And then, it's going to be another level of just emotion when I actually get there, right. Being in Philadelphia. Man, one of the things, like I was on the show this morning, I didn't even know this was happening. Trot and Ike called into the show.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
And dude, and I was like, wow, because I was telling the story about how, Trot used to always say, hey man, I need you to play the run. And I used to tell him like, F you, Trot, I ain't playing the run. That ain't what I'm trying to do. And I used to say, hey, D-Gun. I used to say it just like that. Hey, Trot.
I know you did. I know.
I was like, hey, dog, that's your job. And I remember one time, I forgot who we were playing. And Trot said, dude, he said, Hugh. He said, listen to me, man. He said, you killing us on defense. He said, he said, bruh, I promise you, he said, if you play the run, I'll let you know when they pass. He said, I'll cut you loose. And I said, fine. I said, fine. All right, then. And he was like, hey, Hugh, they running the ball, Because, you know, Troy used to watch a lot of film, man.
Yeah, he did.
I'd be like, hey,
yes,
Hugh, they running the ball. And I'm like, all right, then. So, because they were asking about tackles behind the back and the tackles for loss. They was like, you had a lot of tackles for loss. And I was like, I did. I was like, because I didn't even count those. I don't even count those. So when you told me, I was like, for real? And I said, that had to be Trot. So when Trot got me locked in to knowing what was going on, it was on then. He was like, hey, because you know he said in order to throw the ball, you got to stop the run. You know, you got to stop the run to make them throw the ball. So I was like, okay, cool. There we go. There we have it.
They had to negotiate with you to play the run.
Yes.
Look, I played with Hugh 1 year, and we be in 907, and I come off the ball block. Oh, B, that was a good block, man. I said, bro, you ain't even moving. I know it was a good block, man. It was a good block. I said, you ain't even trying to play the run. Man, they don't pay me for this, man.
hey, they ain't pay me to play the run, and I wasn't playing. Somebody who, when I first got to Philadelphia, who couldn't stand me was Willie T. Willie, oh my gosh. Willie T was like, dude, he's not running the defense. I was like, hey, man. They told me I'd get after the quarterback. But y'all got to understand, I had just came from New York playing in a 3 technique. I was playing over the tackle. So no, I was playing the nose, like it head up in a 3-4. So I'm like, dude, they say, hey man, we just want you to rush the passer. You ain't gotta tell me twice. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm gonna do. And when Jim got here, you know, then it became a little bit more. You gotta play within the scheme, and that's how it all came about. But boy, when I first got to Philly, man, that's all I was trying to do.
So that's what I'm gonna ask you. How did Jim Johnson handle you?
Jim knew that, you know, I was wired one way. Yeah. So he compensated a lot for the way that I played. You know, Jim compensated a lot because it would be times, man. I remember we were in the meeting one time and we had installed something called the wing stunt because Jim was trying to install this defense, and for whatever reason, when the tackle was trying to reach me, I would always go underneath the play and make the play. Yeah. And so Jim would be like, damn it, that's not the way we run it. That's not like, what is he doing? Like, what is he doing? So it was like, we did that for a couple times. And then Jim said, you know what, we're going to put this new defense in. It's called the wing. You know, we're going to have the right defensive end on this play. We in this formation, you're going to, you know, go inside and make the play. And I remember Brandon White, he said, yeah, because Hugh keep effing up the play and we can't run. I was like, hey, man, hey, you know, sometimes these instincts take over, man. And
hey, that's what a good coach does, right? He adapts to his players.
Man, Jim, like, this is the thing I say about Jim that he did a tremendous job of. He knew everybody's strengths, man. Think about Brian Dawkins, Hall of Famer, who Brian could play like a linebacker, play like a corner, and still play safety, and it will knock your block off if given the opportunity. Think about that. Yeah. You had one guy that had that much depth that could do all of that. And we gonna, you know, you talk about Troy and Bobby and Al Harris out there at corner, they locking everybody up. And man, you talk about Trot, like man, I like the way that Trot played that linebacker position. Dude, you'd be hard pressed to find anybody in the league now that can play it as physical as Trot did. Trot the center killer. Yeah. Trot used to kill the center. Center didn't have a chance, and he knew it. He knew it. He used to always say, "Hey man, I'm gonna mug that center. We gonna play football." And then you got one linebacker playing up over the center. You got a safety back there that plays like a linebacker, and you got corners that's locking everybody up.
Yeah, I remember number two.
Man, listen, I remember being in the huddle. I say, "Hey Bobby, I need 3 seconds, dog." He's like, "I got you." There it is. Boom, got it. And allowed me, and then having Hollis over there, and being able to tell Hollis, you know, hey Hollis, cover me. I feel like they're about to pass the ball. And Hollis used to have my back, man. So it was fun, man. It was fun playing in that era of Eagle football, no question about it.
Did you know when you got traded, Hugh, from the Jets, like you were going to be kind of like freed? Like I know it wasn't. It started off well, and then it wasn't great at the end there. But did you have any idea when you came here that, man, this was going to be for me, or was it just kind of like, I don't know, where does this head?
You know what, man? The first year was rough because a lot of players love Ray Rhodes, man. Yeah. And you know what? To be honest, looking back at that time, it felt like he was getting a raw deal. When you talk about some of the coaches that were brought in, you talk about some of the decisions that had already been made. I honestly believe that there had already been a decision. Like I believe that Coach Rose was a lame duck at the beginning of the season.
Oh yeah, no question.
When you look at some of the stuff that happened, I remember our offensive coordinator who just came out of college.
Dana Bible.
Oh my gosh! And I remember being in practice, and we were killing them. We were killing them in practice, like practice, like and you know like offense. When you script your offensive plays, they're scripted for you to have success. Man, we were killing them in their session. We were killing them. And I remember Ray comes up and says, "Hey man, pull it back. Everybody pull it back a little bit because I'm trying to let him run his stuff. He can't run it." And then I remember that's when Hargrave, was it Musgraves?
Bill Musgrave.
Yeah, Musgraves came in and they tried to help run offense, but the hay was already in the barn at that point because Musgrave came in during the course of the season. Like the season had just started, and we brought in Coach Musgraves.
Well, no, he wasn't. That's because he was a player that got cut.
Yes, and that's what it was. Yeah.
He was a player that got cut.
Yeah, we was in a bad spot from the beginning, but Andy Reid comes. He has a plan. And everything kind of worked out, man. But yeah, that first year in Philadelphia, man, it was rough. What was that, 3-13? Oh yeah,
it was 3-13, bro.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough,
bro. I was walking up the steps. Remember, I was walking up the steps, and they cut Jimmy Johnson. They was like, "Hey, he's like, well, where you going, Jimmy?" He said, "What the f you mean where I'm going? You just cut me. I didn't cut you. Come on back downstairs." And they cut
man. It was wild, man. It was some tough times, man, because going into that season. It was a lot of unknown. And then it was just after a while, we were just getting our back beat in every week, just trying to make it through.
Bro, remember we played the Chiefs, and Derek Thomas was trying to go for a record.
Yeah. That's Trey's rookie year. That was Trey's rookie year. Yeah, man. We were horrible.
Yeah.
We were horrible.
What would you say signature moment for you as an Eagle? If you could look back at either a play, a game, whatever, is there one thing that you look back and you say, damn, that really encapsulates my time there, man?
Man, you know what? It's not one thing. It's a bunch of things. Like I remember, like the biggest thing I remember, man, is like just driving up to the game and seeing all the fans that were there. Like that's the thing when I tell people, like especially here in Atlanta, I say it's different in Philadelphia. And then, everybody wants to talk about, they beat up Santa Claus. I be like, Santa Claus had that coming. Santa Claus, he had that coming. But when I tell people about the fans of Philadelphia, the thing that sticks out to me is the legacy. Like you talk about some people who've been season ticket holders for 75 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that have had that get excited about the fact that somebody willed them Eagles tickets.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The fact that there's not no place in the city that you can go that nobody knows. Like everybody knows who you are. Mm-hmm. And you get treated as such. And it's one of those places, man, where great football town, great sports town, period. I mean, that's the thing. Like going from New York and being a guy who played for the Jets. Like the Jets were great, but you think about that. It's a pecking order as far as New York sports are concerned. What is it? It's some people would argue it's the Knicks. Mm-hmm. Some people would argue it's the Yankees. Yep. But I tell you who it isn't. It wasn't the Jets.
Right.
It wasn't the Jets.
It's always the Giants first before the Jets.
It wasn't the Jets because we played at Giants Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would have said your signature moment is when you jacked up Jim Miller.
You know what? I was thinking that, but I didn't want to say it because I knew somebody was going to get to it.
I was thinking it too.
That's all. Anytime I talk to anybody, that's the first thing that they bring up. And I'm like, dude, like even when they talk about Jim Miller thinks you're a dirty player, I'm like, man, Jim Miller can kiss my ass to this day. Like, kiss my ass to this day. Do not care. Do not care. He knew the rules. Listen, you talk about a game where they were picked. They were picked to go to the Super Bowl.
Yep. They were the favorites,
and their fans were blowing our phone up all night long.
Yeah.
And I remember that. And I remember going out on the field, and it was cold. It was real cold that day.
Yeah, it was.
And I remember Bobby, was it Bobby or Al? I want to say it's Bobby Taylor. Their receivers, I don't know their names, whatever their name, Minnie Mo and Jack, Mighty Mo, whatever the hell their names were. So they over there warming up, right? And so Bobby went over there and he slapped the ball out their hands. And he was like, y'all ain't about to catch no balls today.
Oh.
And I was like, can we tell something about it? Oh shit, that's what we doing today? We being disrespectful today? I'm with that.
Yeah.
So, we're playing the game and we're physically beating them up, and Jim threw that interception. I said, hey dog, I said, don't move. I said, I'm telling you, if you move, I'm gonna jack your ass up. And I'm telling you, because Jim had it beat into our skulls where he said, anytime a pick is thrown, get the quarterback. He's the last line of defense. Mm-hmm. Get the quarterback. He's the only guy that's gonna make the play. So I'm not even looking at the play. I'm looking at Jim, and I kept telling him, I'm like, dog, don't move, because like I'm gonna go off of whatever you do. Like if you move, that means the ball is coming this way. So he started laughing and giggling. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, this ain't no game, Playboy. Like this ain't no game. So when he made that move, I just dropped the anvil on him.
It's a signature play, man. It is.
It was one of the things, man. Like you talk about we were a hungry team then. We're trying to eat, and everybody talking about y'all making this Super Bowl shuffle song and all that other stuff. Man, ain't nobody trying to hear that, man. We trying to eat. We hungry. So we were trying to eat, man.
The thing is, when a play is that magnified and people watching on TV, oh man, that was dirty. The player that commits the infraction, usually after the game, is trying to play it down and be humble about, well, I really didn't mean to do this, and I was just trying to make. Dude, Hugh Douglas, I had him on post game live. I listened to him and he was locked. You said, so I just jacked his ass up. I'm like,
hey, D-Gun, did not care. D-Gun did not.
No, you did.
Did not give two dookies about keep it clean about the Chicago Bears or Jim Miller. To this day, still don't care nothing about the Chicago Bears or Jim Miller. To this day. And it's funny because somebody said, well, he's doing broadcasting in Chicago.
So he did the Bears game this past weekend.
Yeah. So what? I'm happy for you. Happy. So happy.
Yeah.
Not really. Don't care.
Man, you a mess, man. You a mess.
I mean, from out of Central State, huh? I mean, they took y'all football team.
You got the helmet right there, right behind you.
Hey, I got to represent the Marauders, man. Hey, listen, they might win a game this year.
Whoa, stepping up, nice.
They need you to go back and coach them, man. That's what they need.
Hey, listen, let me tell you, I have offered on more than one occasion to go back and help out. I don't know. Maybe they just, maybe I'm a little bit too much. My sorted, seated past, they're like, we good. We good. No, we're good. But no, man, you know what? Anytime that I can help out, I will. I'm thinking about trying to get up there, but for us, that's when football season is in full swing. And it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough when football season starts because you gotta be up on top of everything, man. You got to know what's going on.
Right.
Are you the most famous athlete to come out of Central State?
Probably not. I would probably think not. Do you watch P-Valley?
I used to, but now.
It's a young lady that's on P-Valley now. She went to Central State. The photographer lady. You say you haven't watched it lately. B Brooks, have you watched P-Valley?
I try not to, man.
Why not?
It's too much going on now.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's too much.
Yeah, it's a lot going on, man. But
I never saw it. What do you mean too much going on? What does that mean?
You just have to watch it.
You gotta watch
1 or 2 episodes.
All right.
You gotta watch it. It's very explicit.
Oh,
little risque, dude. It's too risque, man. It's like
it's explicit. It's explicit.
I got you. Now it's a lot to watch. What time are we done? 3 o'clock. Okay.
Hey, listen. Only thing you need to do is watch the second season, watch about the last 4 or 5 episodes. You be like, oh, okay. You be like, okay.
Rob, you're gonna watch it and you're gonna turn beet red.
Okay.
Hey, Rob, it's a little different. It's a little different.
All right. It doesn't take much to get me red, so I'll be looking like my shirt the second I start watching it. By the way, Sonny Hill, Central State guy.
Yes, he was. Just to
throw it out there, the great Sonny Hill.
Oh,
all right. So the other one people always ask me about is the whole Badassador when you were the Badassador.
Oh yeah,
you got into it with T.O. How do you look back at that, man?
You know what? It was I look at it like this. It was unfortunate that it happened like that because I think that somebody in T.O.'s camp told him, because that's when I was doing the show with Angelo Catali.
Yep.
And somebody told T.O. that I was on there bad mouthing him. And you know what? You can go back and do an air check for that day. I did not say one bad thing about T.O. because I think he tends to forget that he wore a Michael Irvin jersey after the Eagles lost to the Cowboys.
Yep.
And that's why Angelo was on the show that morning roasting him, killing him. And I remember sitting there, and I was like really just sitting there saying, I don't think that's what it was. You know, I don't think that he was trying to, you know, be negative or whatever. Whatever the story was, somebody told T.O. that I was the one that was, you know, bad mouthing. And I think he just took that and ran with it. You're talking about a time where T.O. felt like everybody was against him.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about him and Donovan's relationship and everything like that, and just how that went south. So he felt like everybody was against. So it was no different. You know, he thought I was in Camp Donovan. You know, and so that's kind of how I got it. And it just was unfortunate, man, because you talk about this man in the Hall of Fame. You know, I think I had a pretty good career, but that's all anybody wants to talk about. You know, to this day, I still get idiots on Twitter say, "Hey, man, what happened with you and T.O.? I'm not going to tell nobody. Give me the skinny." Hey, there's nothing to tell. There's really nothing to tell. Like I said, it's unfortunate that it happened the way that it did because me and him are cool now. We've talked about that moment. We've been on podcasts with each other, but for whatever reason, when people, you know, they think of that, they think of, oh, you got beef with T.O. No, I don't. I really don't. I really don't.
That's good. Well, listen, man, we can't wait. We're thrilled for you. You know that. November 27th, Hugh Douglas and Trent Cole, two very worthy candidates, man, going into the Eagles Hall of Fame. That's going to be a fun night, Hugh. It's going to be
Hold on. I got one final question because for as many times as I've been to Atlanta, I've always wanted to ask somebody who lived in Atlanta this. You got Peachtree Street. You got Peachtree Avenue. Why are there so many doggone peach trees, this and that down in Atlanta? I understand it's a peach state. But it's ridiculous, man. You get lost in downtown Atlanta.
Hey, no sand, no beaches. Just Georgia peaches. We got some of the best chicken wings in the state, and you get them at Magic City. The best wings in the state come from Magic City.
Yeah, just ask Lou Williams.
The best lemon pepper, huh?
I did ask the question.
I'm saying, why are there so many pepper? Because they come up with different names in the streets.
They just like peaches, man. The Georgia peaches.
Yeah.
And do you know who has the best peaches though? Because like you go to Carolina, they got the big peach in Carolina. It's weird.
Interesting. We're learning things. Man. We're learning things here. Hugh,
oh my goodness,
you're the best, man. Thanks for hopping on today.
Hey, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Always appreciate you, bro.
Congrats, Hugh.
All right, then, fellas. Have a good one.
Talk to you soon, man. What a freaking character he is, man. That is awesome. I love talking to Hugh.
Oh my goodness.
He's the best.
Great
all right,
dude,
we're a little behind, so we'll get caught up here. We'll get a quick one. We'll come back. We'll continue to delve into some of the things we saw around the NFL over the first weekend, including Kenny Pickett making his debut. We were talking about Deshaun Watson. We'll dive into games in week 7 as well, some of the better games. We'll do all that stuff when we get back. Don't go anywhere. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network, Barrett, Rob, and D Gunn. All right, let's talk about Flynn Tree Services. Flynn Tree Services is an experienced, licensed, and insured Pennsylvania tree services company that will trim or remove any unwanted trees off of your property. They offer cost-effective solutions to any tree problem you may face. So, do you have any type of tree issues in your yard or on your property? If you do, they're just a quick phone call away. They're experts at trimming all types of trees and serve southeastern Pennsylvania, South Jersey, and northern Delaware. Flynn Tree Services specializes in tree removal, stump grinding, and tree pruning. Keep in mind, we've got some crazy weather of late. We're about at that time of year, hurricane season, storm season, etc. Now's a great time to have your trees evaluated. Go to their Facebook or Instagram page to get a little sampling of their work or a little bit more information. Give Flynn Tree Services a call, 610-850-2848, 610-850-2848, or online, flynntreeservices.com. That's flynntreeservices.com.